Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Tachometer YouTube channel. My name is Tyler, and I hope you all are having a blessed day. In today's video, as you read the title correctly, we're installing a very cheap tachometer on the truck. I'm just gonna start filming more stuff, me doing stuff on the truck. There's some changes coming soon, so yeah, without further ado, I got this tach off eBay for $21 or something. It's not too bad. It is a multifunctional tach. I have been hesitant to put a tachometer on my truck because the last time I did this, I'm pretty sure, so the last time was a tach that was like a 1.5 inch tachometer, and I'm pretty sure it was responsible for burning up one of my ignition coils, which kind of left me stranded one day. And I think it was, the reason I thought that that was it is because really cheap tachometers, I think, can have a voltage draw through the negative terminal to the coil somehow, I thought, and they can cause the coil to basically fail because they're like partially connected always or something. I can't remember. I posted a post on it on the truck forum, and some guys they were talking about this. Was a long time ago, but this tachometer is pretty cheap, but it is definitely a lot bigger, and it also has a rev limiter or a shift light, and it has backlighting. It's got a little scratch on it on the lens, but I mean, it's stinking. See if I can focus on it. So I mean, you can see it's like a $20 tach. It's pretty nice though, but we're going to be installing it in the truck today. The instructions are pretty straightforward. Let's see here. If you need your instructions, here's this set of instructions. So I got to run a whole bunch of wiring. I also got this wiring kit a while back from Harbor Freight for like 30 or 40 bucks. It comes with all this wire. So shout out Harbor Freight, super good deal on that. But gonna have to run a lot of wiring up into the engine bay, so I don't think I want to try to splice in under the dash. I hate splicing in under dashes. It's just it's always like so janky, and you're like up in there trying to crimp it, and it just, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, so far I just ripped everything apart. I was gonna tie in where my oil filter light goes in, or for running lights, but I ended up cutting it too short, so I got a lot of stuff going on in here. This is my keyed power, which comes off this light here, which is over here. This runs for the light down there, and I made it a little bit long, so if I ever need to put anything else down there, like a temp sensor or temp gauge or anything, I can do that. This is just a factory ground on these trucks, so I just ran the ground there. I'm gonna take the power from this guy, which is my radio wire. You want to make sure you disconnect your battery when doing this. Well, normally it wouldn't matter, but I have this wired to my battery hot. The other day I had to redo this because the back of my $20 head unit down here melted, and the wire shorted out and melted and caught on fire in here, and I was like, oh man, that was, I mean, it didn't really like sketch me out a lot because, you know, the wire just kept melting off, and I blew the flame out. But yeah, so I'll probably snip this and run it through this. Hopefully this wire will support it. I mean, the wire supports my stereo just fine. So, and then the wire that you're gonna have to run, or I have to run if you do a tach, you have to run it all the way up to the front of the engine, is your negative for your ignition coil, which I will just run out the thingy that's down in here. I don't know if y'all can see it. There's a thing down in here that I'll just run it out through. If you ever have wiper or turn signal issues, I believe one of these, it's down there somewhere, is also where your turn signal thing's located. So if you ever need to get these off, and if you just ever need to know, I always was like, there's kind of a pain in the butt. I never understood how to get them off. You literally just make sure there's slack in the line, so you kind of pull it towards you and then push down, and it pops off of that. You also want to make sure these are clean, and your gauge cluster. I had this out a while back when I was redoing this, and only part of my gauge cluster would light up. So you just want to make sure that you make sure these are clean. I've always talked about this on these trucks, that they have kind of connection issues, so you just want to make sure your connections are good. You can see though that I went through most of this truck and wire loomed everything with the felt wire loom. I obviously want to go back through at some point and make this like really nice. I'd really like to just take the dash off and completely redo the electrical of this truck, but that will happen a long time from now when I have the time to sit down and dedicate time to it, I will also be removing all of these sucky ones and putting on heat shrink ones. I don't have any right now, so. If you don't follow me on Instagram or you don't view my YouTube shorts, spent about 4 hours the other day buffing the truck and got it really nice and shiny. So you can follow me on Instagram, links are in the description. You can also view my YouTube shorts as well. Battery's still going good. If you watch that video, the old Overstart still does great. I listen to music and leave the truck on, and yeah, it does pretty good. But this is what we need to disconnect right here, is these, one of these or both of them. So it's this one. I don't actually know what the red one goes to. Okay, we got it hooked up. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, a wire nut, Tyler? Really? I am out of connectors that are small, and my dash is completely taken apart, and this is my only vehicle. So, can't go to Harbor Freight. Would prefer not to use these. Should have, like before this, I was like, oh man, should I go to Harbor Freight and get some? Should have went and did that. It is what it is. So now what we're gonna do, since I ran this brown a little long, okay, everything here is connected, so all this should be good. This stupid thing, I'm gonna like I said, someday I'm gonna sting and take all this out and redo it. I hate the way this looks. I'm gonna do everything like color correct, not, you know, 5 different colors. Yellow for hot, that's dumb. How about you like red for hot? Also, don't use this stuff that came in the pack if you ever do this. This heat shrink, it caught on fire as soon as I got it hot because it's like the lowest quality heat shrink known to mankind. But we are going to, last but not least, I did put some of this, which is dielectric grease, in the connector for the heat, oh, that just came off there. Just stay there. For the thingy-mabobber, the thing, man, you know, the thing. My brain's not working, so I think I'm gonna use, which that will work. Got my brown wire right here, ran through. I also, you know, hate the way this looks, but oh, I gotta fix that. It fell, or no, it didn't fall down. Oh man, I somehow still made this way too long. Okay, I am going to get this put onto the negative side. Maybe take both of these off and put some dielectric grease on them. Honestly, probably should do that. And we will go from there and see if it works. I gotta get the dash back together too, so. Okay, so I redid some stuff in here. I realized it's probably not a good idea to have your tack hooked to a hot ground all the time. So what I did was I ran an entire new wire that is hooked to a switch that I have, a manual keyed on and off switch in the engine bay. I ran that all the way up here, so now because I originally ran it off the radio, which has power to keep radio settings, but I didn't want this running 24/7 like it would if it was on that circuit. I originally had it like that. I've had it all done, and then I realized probably shouldn't have the tack with 100% power all the time, so I put it to that, which if I forget to turn the switch off, then it will continue to have power, but most of the time I don't forget to turn it off. So this now has technically keyed power. There's really nowhere under here to get keyed power. At some point I would like to, when I redo the wiring in this truck, I would like to get one of those bus bar boxes with more fuses, because the fuse box that's down there is full and is factory. It has all the factory fuses, so it's already full up. But I just, running stuff like this and having the light, it just sucks. I would like to make this look so much nicer, and obviously not have like 50 different wires running through here. I mean, you could see how it looked without, imagine how it looked without this. So we are gonna get everything wrapped back up. It does turn on when I bump the key on, and then if you hold this down, it goes to your settings, so you can 1, 2 cylinder, 3 cylinder, 4 cylinder, 5 cylinder, 6 cylinder, and mine's an 8 cylinder obviously. So I will be putting this shift light probably around like $5 grand, even though this thing doesn't really have a shift light. So this evening I will program the color for the backlighting. I'd prefer it to be like a natural, like amber color, and I will also program the light intensity, because this has 5 light intensity settings. So there's really not much else to do. I'm just gonna get this all back together, and then we'll fire it up and make sure it actually works, because I kind of need the dash, the gauge cluster plugged in. So okay, I didn't record any of that. Let's try that again. Whoops. I'm struggling with this camera for recording. First time I started up, it was all brrr, which is kind of weird. Oh, why did it just reset to 3? Okay, it's still at 8. Okay, if you need to set it, you press that and go through them. It works. Okay. Oh. I guess I'll set it at 4. I probably shouldn't be hitting 4,000 RPM in this very much. Okay. Oh, I didn't record any of the backlighting stuff either. So this is the backlighting. I hate this color. At some point I'll be getting a different one of these because I wanted that just nice amber 70s glow. Instead I got this JDM neon blue, which I'm not a big fan of. I want the truck to be correct period looking, and I hate the color blue. I don't know why the Chinese always have to have the color neon blue for a backlighting. I would like it to be an amber color or like a red, or even better would be a green to match that. So if you need to adjust your lighting, you just press this button to adjust it. But I mean, that's pretty much it. This also slides inside this housing to adjust it. So yeah, I'm trying to get a better shot. There we go. So other than that, that was pretty simple. I mean, other than me having to redo all the wiring and add my own thing in, my own keyed switch, that's pretty much it. If you do this yourself, definitely make sure you heat shrink any positive wires that come into the vehicle that are always hot. Like if you have anything that is like got battery power all the time, heat shrink the connection. Like you just want to make sure that doesn't melt under your dash and burn your truck to the ground, or your any car, vehicle, anything. Like $7 in heat shrink tubing, or a couple thousand, like depending on how nice your vehicle is, like $5,000, $10,000. I mean, who knows, in burning your vehicle to the ground because you didn't put heat shrink. So yeah, without further ado, that's pretty much it. So it's pretty simple. Can't think of anything else, so I will catch you on the next one. Thank you all for watching. You can head down in the description and check out all the goodies and stuff. I'll throw a link down in the description for this tack, so I get a little bit of kickback, no extra cost to you if you purchase it through that link, or any of my other eBay affiliate links down there, or if I ever throw any other links down there. You can see the disclaimers down there. So yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching. God bless.